Alrighty. We are back. We are live. Weird. I don't know if this is working properly. I don't know why my PC's running so high. Check a couple settings here. I got so many helpers.
Daddy,
No gear. What?
I need your help
What's up?
fixing this.
Is it broken?
No, you clap it together. Are you streaming?
Yep. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for fixing my fidget.
You're welcome. Let's open a piece. The dome. Things running in my background here. So many cloud helpers and all that. Still remove that. Should not be running that much. Create a cloud and install. Don't need that. Weird.
What do you mean a little bit? What do you mean a little bit?
Yep. Today was my 6th year wedding anniversary.
So I will need to do something today.
Warzone. Season. Season 4. PC settings. There's new settings for PC.
And I need to change also.
Season 4 is here, which means another new settings video for you guys, and good news, it appears as if the sun has finally been fixed this season, which means I'm going to be going really hard on getting the best NVIDIA filters for you guys over the next couple days. So if you're new here and you're interested in NVIDIA filters, make sure you click that subscribe button. But let's just get right into all the settings. All right, we're going to be starting with Windows settings. So the first thing I want you to do is go down to the search bar and just type background apps, and you're going to see the best match says background apps right here. Just click.
Okay, give me a second.
Justin, you there?
Background apps.
Hey Justin, are you there?
Yes, dear.
Yeah, I follow.
Yes, I am.
Click on that link I sent you, and that's gonna change.
On what? On Facebook?
Yeah. That's gonna be all the new settings. I'm doing it right now. All the new settings.
And you're going to see the best match says
Oh my
background
God.
apps right here.
Yeah.
Just click that. It's going to open this up, and all you
It's
have to
just
do
such-
is check this off right
give me a
here where
minute.
it says let apps run in the background. If you don't check this off, all these apps are going to be running in the background while you're gaming, and we just don't want that. So close out of that, and then after that, we are going to go back to the search bar, and we're going to search power, and you're going to see at the top here it says power and sleep settings. So we're going to click that, and it's going to open this up right here, and on the right side here you're going to see additional power settings. So click that, and then make sure this is checked right here where it says high performance. It could be under this little drop down menu, so if you're not seeing it, it could potentially be under there, but just make sure high performance is checked here. After you're done with that, we're going to close all this out, and again go back to the search bar and type game, and you're going to see game mode settings right here. So we're going to click that, and the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go up to Xbox game bar here on the left side, and you're going to want to make sure to check this off because this is going to actually impact your performance in game. And then once you do that, we're going to go back down to game mode on this left bar here, and we're going to make sure it's checked on. Now, not everyone's going to have this next setting, but if you do, on the right side here it'll say graphics settings. So click that, and you're going to want to turn this on here where it says hardware accelerated GPU scheduling. Not everyone's going to have that setting, and I heard some people have had issues with this setting, like with their game crashing and stuff. So if you are someone who's having issues with your game, turning this back off could actually help you. But for the majority of you guys that have this setting, this is going to actually improve your performance. Then we can just click with this setting, like with their, and you're going to want to turn this because this is going to actually impact your performance in game. And then once you do that, we're going to go back down to game mode on this left bar here, and we're going to make sure it's checked on. Now, not everyone's going to have this next setting, but if you do, on the right side here it'll say graphics settings. So click that, and you're going to want to turn this on here where it says hardware accelerated GPU scheduling. Not everyone's going to have that setting, and I heard some people have had issues with this setting, like with their game crashing and stuff. So if you are someone who's having issues with your game, turning this back off could actually actually help you. But for the majority of you guys that have this setting, this is gonna actually improve your performance. Then we can just click out of that and we are done with the Windows settings. This next part of the video is only for people with NVIDIA graphics cards. So if you don't have an NVIDIA graphics card, just skip ahead in the video a little bit. But actually be scrolled up here and be on like 1080p where it says Ultra HD, HD or S. We're gonna scroll down a bit and everything on my desktop more colorful. Then when I put it back down to 50, it looks a little more washed out, which is the default setting. So I add my vibrance through the NVIDIA filters, but if you're not using NVIDIA filters and here, it looks really bad, but that's besides the point. Anyways, I know this option's
Leave your card. Leave your card. Here's Sadie made you a lock. Mine's gonna be at the end. Sadie made it. Oh no, click it off. Okay, here, I made this for you. No, that's your mustache. And here is my lock. It's just not.
Did you fix it all, Julian?
I put them in a box because I had no one to do it. Yeah, that was my sister. So, oh, I put them on. And I don't have it. You made that.
Season 4 is here, which means another new settings video for you guys. And good news, it appears as if the sun has finally been fixed this season, which means I'm going to be going really hard on getting the best NVIDIA filters for you guys over the next couple days. So if you're new here and you're interested in NVIDIA filters, make sure you click that subscribe button. But let's just get right into all the settings. Alright, we're going to be starting with so the first thing I want you to do is go down to the search bar and just type background apps, and you're going to see the right here. Just click that. It's going to open. And all you have to do is check this off right here where it says let apps run in the background. If you don't check this off, all these apps are going to be running in the background while you're gaming, and we just don't want that. So close out of that, and then after that, we are going to go back to the search bar. And you're going to see at the top here, it says sleep settings. So we're going to that, and it's going to open this up right here, and on the right side here you're going to see additional power settings, so click that, and then make sure this is checked right here where it says high performance. It could be under this little menu, so if you're not seeing it, it could potentially be under there, but just make sure high performance. It could be under this little drop-down menu, so if you're not seeing it, it could potentially be under there, but just make sure high performance is checked here. After you're done with it, close all this out, and again, go back to the search bar and type game, and you're going to see game mode settings right here, so we're going to
Okay. Let's
button is not working for whatever reason right now, so all you gotta do is click F3 and that opens up your settings. If you have one of those keyboards where you don't have like the F1, F2, F3 buttons, you can just hop into a game and then open up your options from there. It works perfectly fine. But
Are you able to follow it, Jason?
we're going to start with the mouse settings here for all you mouse and keyboard players. So I play on 400 DPI and my sensitivity is 6.12 for all those who are curious about that. But we're going to want to click advanced right here. And the first thing I want to note is this air vehicle sensitivity multiplier, which I crank this all the way up. Those of you who play on a low sense on mouse and keyboard know how horrible it is trying to fly a helicopter in this game on low sensitivity.
So she
So
buys them
cranking
over
this
there and
sensitivity
brings them
all the
over
way up
here.
can help
Then
a lot with that. After that, we're going to go to the aim down sight mouse sensitivity, which I have on relative. If you do play on legacy, you can just ignore this, but if you play on relative, you're going to want to do this. So make sure you click advanced right here and you're going to see all these settings pop up. Now I play with my ADS. Can help a lot with that. After that, we're going to go to the aim down sight mouse sensitivity, which I have on relative. If you do play on legacy, you can just ignore this, but if you play on relative, you're going to want to do this. So make sure you click advanced right here and you're going to see all these settings pop up. Now I play with my ADS sensitivity transition timing on instant, which basically means the second I click my ADS button, my ADS sensitivity is going to be applied. But the one big thing I want to talk about is this monitor distance coefficient setting right here. Now
what? Blaster. I mean.
Huh?
Yeah.
Last night.
Yeah.
Told Matt to come in today and sandblast all the center posts.
Really?
So you could paint them tomorrow.
Okay.
He needs them, he said.
Okay.
So, he's got 5 of them done.
Yeah.
Guess what he's blasting with?
Not the walnut.
Oh my God.
Oh, he's lost a tip, he's lost a nut.
Oh.
Flew apart. I said, Jordan, where does this guy come from? Sean called him last night. He needed those center post blasts. Hey. This guy has no training. His dad's a sandblaster and he's done a little bit. I said, he's done a little bit. Now look, I said the fucking hollow blaster is fucked.
now by
Pin is
default,
gone, the fucking carbide tip is gone.
Oh boy.
Washers are gone.
Oh my fuck.
And he's done 5 posts all
it's at 1.33, but for most people, you're going to want this on 1.78. Now what this does is when you change it to 1.78, or what the correct value is for you, and I'll tell you how to get the correct value here in a second, is it makes it so when you ADS, your
We didn't even start the hinge yet.
ADS sense feels virtually the same as when you're not ADS'd, but when the setting is on default, when you ADS, your sensitivity is actually going to feel slower than your hip fire sense. So this can help for muscle memory.
He's got no fucking training. I tell him to go home, get him.
Now we need another hollow blaster. Well, the guts for it.
Yeah.
Fucking Christ.
That's $500 there. It's $150 just for the tip.
Holy fuck. Well.
That's made for inside of a pipe. That's it.
What
Yep.
the fuck did he use a hollow blaster for?
You're not supposed to take that. Did he take it off, Dennis?
memory and just make the gameplay
You know,
experience
if he
feel
took it
smoother
off-
overall. But keep in mind when you do change this setting
Well, how,
that
how,
your
do you,
ADS
how the
sensitivity
fuck do you sandblast with a hollow blaster on the outside?
Fuck.
Right, she ain't there yet.
That doesn't make sense, Dennis.
I know. Your son could
is going to feel slightly faster at first, so it might take a couple games to adjust. So basically, to
so-
figure out the correct number
we're-
here,
we're
you're going
out
to want
a
to
lot
take
of
the
sand,
width
too.
of your monitor and divide that by the height. So for me, I have a 1440p monitor, so I'm doing 2560
my
divided by
God.
1440. Most of you guys are probably playing on a 1080p monitor, so you'd take 1920 divided by 1080, which both of those are going to equal out to 1.7778 anyway, so we round it out to 1.78. But for those who play on
They should be talking to
no
Dennis
fucking
about that.
training.
Why did
Nothing on this
you know why didn't he just call you and for him to tell me that I needed to go in today?
Yep.
Exactly. That's exactly what I told Jordan.
Yep.
If he really needed that, no matter what, he's gonna get him on Tuesday. It doesn't really matter.
Daddy, can you solve this for me?
Right.
Can you solve
But I guess he figures by having them blasted
I
today,
thought it was all the big
you could paint him Monday and
like those
You're
ultra
still
wide
gonna-
screens and stuff
Never
like
mind.
that, your value is definitely
You still
gonna be
have to
different
wait
here. But
the fucking.
12 hours.
that's basically it for the mouse
Yeah,
settings. I mean, you don't
Oh
want to
my
have
God.
mouse acceleration, mouse filtering, or mouse
I
smoothing,
told
obviously.
Jordan
so turn those all
that.
the way
I told
off or
Jordan
disable
that.
them if you have
Not
them
the-
enabled for whatever reason.
Not the
Now, I
welder,
wanna
but
move
the other
over here to
Jordan.
the
I
move-
said Tuesday. I said, how many do you need? He says, I just need the
Movement
one.
tab. Now,
I
under
said, that's
automatic
fine.
sprint-
I'll sandblast the table or the platform and the post, and it'll be all painted all at the same time. You'll get it on Tuesday. Perfect. So why did Buddy fucking interfere with
I
that?
highly recommend you putting this on automatic tactical sprint. This is going to feel
Oh
weird
my
at
God.
first, but once you get used to it, it is so worth it. Trust me.
Now
your
I'm gonna
movement
be
is gonna
fucked
be
if
a
I
lot
get
better.
other
Basically,
fucking
all you have
fittings.
to do is press your W key and your tac sprinting if your tac sprint is available. So this is helping with movement a
Son of a
lot
bitch.
once you get used to it. If you play on controller, I
got
highly
no
recommend this
tip
as
and I
well.
got no spare nut.
No, because they're about 2 inches long, them fuckers.
Yeah.
Fuck. Now you gotta order that. Good thing you don't have a pipe to fucking sandblast.
With the laptop, it's pretty all.
They were there, eh?
Enter that in,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna write a long fucking. Even if before my job there's a sign that comes home now.
Doesn't make sense.
I'm done with these fucking rushes. Everything is fucking rush, man.
Well, yeah.
Yep. And then everything fucks up. Yep.
It must be mine now. There's no fucking way. That Pete song is just saying
Yeah,
Pete song.
I know.
Fucking Najat.
Well,
It's actually probably better on
They-
controller, but this
they
setting
should
will
have
be under
all
your
that
controller
stuff in
settings
stock.
over here, as well as the next setting I'm going to show
never mind doing the
you
rush.
guys. So for
Do
my mouse
a
and
lot-
keyboard players, go up here to kill
do a
streaks
lot
and
of the
vehicles
parts,
and put armor plate
put it on
behavior
the
to
shelves.
apply all, which
Because
makes life a little bit easier. So you're not just
having a
spamming
rush
your
like
plate
that,
button over and over.
they
You
should
just gotta
have
click
at
it
least
once and it
one
puts
fucking
all of your
one
plates on.
system
Moving on to
already
the general
done
tab
on
here,
the shelf.
I play on 120 FOV, and if we click
I
on
know
that,
it's expensive, but it prevents a lot of.
here I
Headache.
play on affected field of view. If you don't know the difference between affected and independent FOV, affected basically makes it so when you
Yeah.
ADS, your FOV is the same as what you have your actual FOV set to, but if you have it set to independent FOV,
we can't give you. We got a fucking.
your FOV is just going to be what the default FOV is when you ADS. So basically when you ADS, you'll be getting 80 FOV on independent. So with it on affected and a hide field of view, it makes it look like you have a lot less recoil. It's visual recoil, and it makes it a lot easier
Yeah.
to hit shots. So I highly
Apparently
recommend
Chris
switching
wants
this
to
to
quit.
affected if you haven't
Yeah.
yet.
And they're gonna lay. They're supposed to be laying off four welders.
He should ask for his layoff. He just bought a fucking house too.
They can't lay off four fucking welders. They ain't got no four
right.
welders.
I got a nice surprise on Monday morning, I guess.
It's fun, so please, problemen du kvartslivet man.
Dude, push.
And then I see a lot of people always messing up their brightness settings. They'll just crank the brightness all the way up, and it's actually going to make your visibility a lot worse. So all you want to do is just reset this to 50 and just move it up inch by inch until you see where it says barely visible.
Sand coming out of it.
See the MW logo barely visible. It's as easy as that, and it's going to make visibility a lot better than just cranking this setting up. Now, if we scroll down here a little bit, you are going to see minimap shape, and I know not everyone knows about this, but I feel like most people know about it. But I'm going to say it anyways. You want to change your minimap shape to square. It's going to make the minimap bigger, and when you have a UAV up, it's just going to give you more visibility on the minimap. Because what if there was a guy on your UAV up in this top right corner here on the circle minimap? You're not going to spot that, so you definitely want to change this to square.
I told you, I have a funny feeling of that, Sean.
Also, how you turn your F.
I don't trust him. I don't know what it is. I just can't trust him.
FPS counter, your server latency, packet loss, all that good stuff on. So if you didn't know how to do that, that's where it is. It's right here. Moving on to what probably most of you guys are here.
Thanks for the update. Heads up, yeah.
That's all, man.
To Matt? What?
Here for and
You're on the limit.
Oh, the guy, the sandblaster, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I put back on trailing anymore,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that is the graphics setting. So as always, I recommend you play in full screen mode. This is just going to minimize your input lag. Playing in full screen borderless isn't bad. You're going to get the same performance, but you are going to get a slight bit more input lag. So I highly recommend just playing on full screen mode. Under display adapter, obviously just make sure your GPU is selected here. It should be by default. And then for screen refresh rate, obviously just make sure you have the highest value set here. And then for render resolution, make sure this is set to 100. Aspect ratio, you can leave this at automatic. VSync or sync every frame, we want this disabled. This is going to add input lag, and we do not want input lag. But if you're getting really bad screen tearing, you could turn this on and that should fix it. But then again, it's adding a lot of input lag, so I would rather take the screen tearing even if I am getting it. Then for custom frame rate limit, I have this set to custom, and I click advanced and I turn it all the way up so I can just get as many frames as I possibly can, even though I'm not going to get up to 300. I like to let my game get as many frames as possible, so I turn it all the way up. And then for menu custom frame rate limit and out of focus custom frame rate limit, I just put these down to 60, so my graphics card isn't working insanely hard when I'm just in the menus. Scrolling down, we got NVIDIA highlights, which I disable. If you enable this, it's just going to always be recording random stuff, and you don't want that. But if you do want to use shadow play or whatever, you can still use that with this disabled. It's just when you have this enabled, it's going to be recording random stuff, and you don't really want that. NVIDIA reflex low latency, we want this enabled plus boost. Now I haven't noticed that this actually really improves my frame rate, but I have noticed that it does improve input lag, so we want to have this enabled plus boost. Display gamma, if you're playing on a monitor, leave this at 2.2. If you're playing on a TV, you could change it to 2.4, but for the majority of you guys, you're going to be on 2.2. Now for streaming quality, I have this on normal, but if you are on a really low end setup and you have less than 4 gigabytes of VRAM, you might want to put this on low. Texture resolution, I have this on normal, and again, if you are on a lower end system, I would recommend putting this on low, but the difference between low and very low is very negligible. So if you're playing on a low end system, I would really recommend low, but for the majority of you guys who are on a decent PC, I would put this on normal. Texture filter anisotropic, I have this on high. I've noticed no impact on performance when I put this to high, and it just kind of makes everything pop a little more. so we're putting this on high. Now keep in mind, I tested all these settings on this current PC I'm on right now, and I also tested it on my other PC that has a 2070 in it, and these settings are great on both PCs. So I know there might be some of you guys out there thinking I just optimize these settings only for my PC, but that's just not the case. Then for particle quality, we're going to want to set this to high. It actually boosts your FPS putting this to high, which is very odd, but it is what it is. We get better visuals and better performance, so keep it on high. Bullet impacts and sprays, we keep this enabled. Tessellation, we set this to all. Now the difference between all and disabled is a matter of like 1 FPS, so I would recommend putting this to all. And again, it just kind of helps make everything in the environment just pop a little bit more. On demand texture streaming, we're going to disable this. We don't want textures downloading to our computer while we're playing the game. That could make some people lag. Scrolling down, we got shadow map resolution, which I keep on low. Shadows are a big performance hog, so we want to keep this on low. Cache spot shadows and cache sun shadows, we enable both of these. Basically, it's storing information in your RAM, which is going to speed up the rendering of frames, and it improves performance slightly, so we want to enable both of these. Particle lighting, we have this on low. Ray tracing, if you have this option, we always want to disable that. This is going to impact performance an insane amount. Ambient occlusion, I was testing this a lot last night. I really like how the game looks on both. It just kind of made everything pop a little more, but I was also losing about 5 to 10 FPS on average on both PCs, so I'm going to decide to disable this still. And screen space reflection, we have disabled. And then we got a lot to talk about here. So filmic strength, we'll come back to this, but DLSS, if you do have this option, is a weird one in my testing, because ever since I got this new graphics card, I now have a 3080 Ti. If I enable DLSS on any setting, it's really not improving my performance like whatsoever. It was improving the 1% and 0.1% lows just ever so slightly, so it wasn't worth it for me to even put this setting on. But then when I went back and tested it on my other PC with a 2070 in it, it was improving my frames by about 30 FPS on average. So I'm not going to be able to tell you exactly what to put on here, but I will tell you if you are using DLSS that you want to use it on quality. The other settings just make the game look blurry, and you just don't want this game to look blurry. Now, even on quality, I've heard people say that some things look kind of blurry out in the distance, which I haven't really noticed. But even if you do get that slight bit of fuzziness in the distance, I think that's worth the trade-off. Because like I said, with my 2070, I was getting a 30 FPS improvement, which was huge. Because with DLSS off, I was getting around 100 or less frames at 1440p. So you're going to have to test this out for yourself and see if it's actually improving your frames or not. Now, if you're playing at 1080p, just don't even worry about DLSS. Just keep it disabled. And then for anti-aliasing, I really like this on the Filmic SMAAT2X. It really gets rid of that shimmering effect that you'll see in a lot of trees, and overall it just gets rid of all the jagged edges, and the game just looks really nice. But then again, putting this setting all the way up to this Filmic SMAAT2X is going to be impacting frames a good amount. In my experience, I'm losing about 10 FPS by putting this all the way up. So if you don't mind the jagged edges and the shimmering in the trees, I mean, you could turn this off or even put it at the SMAA1X, which will actually boost your performance, but I really prefer it on this setting here. I think the game looks a lot better and it really improves visibility, so I highly recommend this setting. But if you're really struggling for frames, you could turn it off or put it at the 1X setting. Now, if you do have this at the Filmic SMAAT2X, you can turn Filmic strength all the way down, but if you play with it off or on the 1X, you're going to want to turn Filmic strength all the way up. So this is going to depend on what setting you're running. And then field of view, we're going to want to disable this. This is just making your visibility horrible. We don't want that. Along with world motion blur and weapon motion blur and film grain, disable this and turn film grain all the way down. This is just really going to impact your visibility in the game. And then last but not least, we have dynamic resolution, which we want disabled. Once you're done, make sure you click apply settings, and keep in mind sometimes when you open up your game, these cache sun shadows and cache spot shadows are going to be disabled, so you'll have to come in here and check when you open your game to make sure they're enabled, as well as your render resolution. If your game's looking like poop when you open up your game, sometimes this will be set all the way down to like 66 or in my case 50, so always double check that. Make sure this is at 100. It sucks that those get reset sometimes, but it is what it is. But hopefully this helped you guys out, and if you are new here and you haven't yet, make sure you click that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate that. We're getting close to 25,000 subscribers, and if this did help you, make sure you drop a like. I'd appreciate that as well. And just a reminder, I do stream a lot over on Twitch. Link is in the description, so if you're ever bored and want to watch a Twitch stream, come say what's up in chat. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace the web. Peace. on like 1080p where it says HD, HD, or SD, but you actually want to scroll down and make sure it's just under P, and then on your native resolution, HD stuff up here, you're most likely going to be locked to 60. And you're going to want to make sure HD, HD, or SD, but you actually want to scroll down and make sure it's just under PC and then on your native resolution, because if you're on that Ultra HD stuff up here, you're most likely going to be locked to 60 hertz. So if you're locked to 60 hertz but you have 144 hertz monitors, that could potentially be why. Then we're going to scroll down a bit and you're going to want to make sure use Infinity C and then on your native resolution 60 hertz, and they don't know it, but this is where you change that. So where it says refresh right here under this drop down box, just this and select that. Might actually be scrolled here and be on like 1080p where it says HD, HD, or SD, but you actually want to scroll down and make sure it's just under native resolution. HD stuff up here, you're most likely going to be locked to 60. And you're going to want to make sure use and get color settings here, and once that is checked, you're going to go down here to output range, and you're going to change this from limited. Make sure you guys are applying your and their game just looks checked. You're going to go down here to output dynamic range, and you're going to change this from limited to full, and full may actually be scrolled here and be on like 1080p where it says Ultra HD, HD, or SD, but you actually want to scroll down and make sure it's just under P and then on your native resolution, because if you're on that Ultra HD stuff up here, you're most likely going to be locked to 60 hertz. So if you're locked to 60 hertz but you have 100, and you're going to want to make sure use it. Media color settings is checked right here, and once that is checked, you're going to go down here to output dynamic range, and you're going to change this from limited to. Make sure you guys are applying. Next part is for people, and their game just looks a little wild, and they want to give it a little. Left, and then you're just going to. It just makes everything.
Why is it not going in there?
HD stuff up here.
How do you get that in there? That's how you put this picture. I want to put a picture on here. I can't seem to. This one.
Is it on your thing? Is it in your pictures? Is it in your pictures?
Well, I downloaded it.
Okay, well, it's in your downloads, right? So, open with.
Gallery. See?
Okay. Can I get rid of this?
Yeah.
The fuck?
How you making out there, Justin? Are you almost done? Best Buy. Best Buy. .ca. Fire stick. Fire stick.
Your downloads aren't there?
Fire stick. Light.
Okay,
Oh
so-
yeah, we don't have to add the card, eh? I forgot we could just go pick it up now.
Okay, you know what? How do you screenshot on your phone? Do it this way.
Screenshot?
Screenshot.
Do you want to screenshot that?
Screenshot it. Because I can't find it. So, screenshot it. Now go into.
Now I know
your
how to do it.
Now go into your pictures. Crop it though.
Yeah, I didn't really want to. Oh, you can crop it?
No, crop it. Hold on. You might be able to do it there. Hold on. Add picture. This. Next. Edit. No. 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 Crop. And get rid of the black.
Okay.
Done.
Alright, okay. There you go.
Done.
Nice.
There you go.
Block is prevention part. One up a table. Cross is here. They say it's 45 minutes from this convenience store. From the turnoff.
That's what the lady.
One of my mechanic that used to work for us, or probably I don't work for him anymore. He lives on this road, and he's strictly bush. He has satellite water. Doesn't have any off grid. Lives off grid on this.
I'll be right back, Chad. I gotta go to get a.
I'm already there. How far?
Holy man.
So you go there? You went there with the kayak?
I've never been there.
You've never been there yet?
No, my friend.
Yeah. But I can't remember. It could be there. I'd have to check. Yep. I mean,
That one doesn't look that high. That doesn't look high.
but it's probably another trail, right? It's still happening. Could be. Could be another spot, right?
Now open.
They do. Anything prevent anything that's a boat launch, anything that you're able to go. Yeah, I know.
That's not.
Doesn't matter. Anything that where the public is allowed to go is closed. Was it Steve? So Steve, I think it was Steve. He went to the Cup and Saucer not too long ago, and there was cops on the trail. And it says, "I know you're not supposed to be here. We're letting you, but consider this as a warning because it's this $875 fine."
Hey, sorry, you can't.
They were walking the trail themselves
Wow.
at the Cup and Saucer.
Well, so they're allowed, but we're not allowed.
Yeah, that's what I said. For exercise, right? And apparently you're not even anywhere.
Box, just check
Which
to
I
see
didn't
what your
understand.
highest available refresh rate is and select that. Now, some
What's that? You no, you're working next weekend, right?
people might actually be scrolled up here and be on like 1080p where it says Ultra HD, HD, or SD, but you actually want to scroll down and make sure it's just under PC, and then on your native resolution. Because if you're on that Ultra HD stuff up here, you're most likely going to be locked to 60 hertz. 60 hertz, but you have 144 hertz. And you're going to want to make sure use NVIDIA.
July. Oh, we can take a during the week. During the week. During the week. I feel COVID. Big COVIDia. COVIDia. not other disease. It's just.
Justin, are you almost done so we can try it or what?
You gotta make it sound like a disease or something.
He's lying.
I've got 3 weeks of vacation. I actually have 3 weeks of vacation that I need to take.
Here, and once that is checked, you're gonna go down here.
What?
Dad,
But
do it more.
Yeah, but I could always take a Monday off or a Friday off. You know what I mean? Like,
that's Tasha. That's Amy. That's soap. Justin, are you almost done the settings? I'd like to try this new setup. See if it's better.
June or August?
Croat?
You're working Canada Day? Big money. Glad you're working on Canada Day. I'm off too. That's in the middle of the week, isn't it? Thursday? Ah, wonder if we can work it and take the Friday off.
You'll get the Friday off, Justin.
Wonder if we can do that.
You'll get the Friday. Not the Thursday.
No.
Justin.
Don't want to go there when you're off of a night shift. Zombie and gonna scare people.
That was